Welcome back to Beyond the Line. We're talking about attitudinal healing. I'm Laurie Lapierre, and my guests are George Solomon, Louis Nassani, and Meyer Schneider. Meyer, when we went to the break, we were having a clip from Dr. Felton, who says really that it's criminal that attitudinal healers, spiritual healers, and other such people should tell a person dying of cancer or being very, very sick to abandon traditional medicine.
I agree with him, and I think that he is putting words into the wrong people, because most of the responsible attitudinal healers and educators actually work side by side with doctors. If you read my book, Self-Healing, My Life and Vision, I picked up where doctors could not anymore continue. They picked up, or I sent people to doctors where I felt I couldn't help people. It's very important for us to really understand that what medicine is doing, it is not really healing people, it is fixing people. And there's a big difference between the word healing and fixing. You can change today a heart and a lung. You can change today kidney. You can change cornea. That does not heal the process of decay. Healing is when you remove the cause of whatever illness you have. And that's why it's important to remember that function leads to structure and thought leads to function.
Is the cause of illness in the mind?
The cause of illness is in the lack of connection between you and your body. You have to learn to be in your body. Most of us are living in this world without being within themselves. We can breathe so much deeper. You know, most of us don't know that we can move this much, for example, in our joints. And we have tight trapezius. We have 20% of the joint mobilities we could have. We breathe so little, we don't know how to look in a way that enhances a better vision. We tense very much, and we have no indicators of knowing how the tension accumulates. We fatigue without even knowing the accumulation of fatigue. The connective tissue gets very hard. What we need to learn is to be in touch with our body.
All right. Be in touch with our body.
I'd like to direct this to Dr. Solomon. Those of us who have ailments of the body, it is more tangible and understandable that men, very commendable men as Louis, are able to work the mind around this visualization process and help to heal the physical ailment, if you will. I would like to know if you know of processes or people who are studying more to those who have ailments of the mind, who are maybe less capable of managing to do this visualization because their mind is causing them to feel, you know, paranoid or you know, not in touch with that part of the body.
Yes, Dr. Solomon. Why do we call you doctor? We call everybody else by their first name. You see, it's authority. Authority. George, thank you. Thank you.
There are no simple cause and effects. All disease has many factors playing back and forth. Now, if a person, as you suggest, may feel more helpless, more powerless, or not feel that there is a hope for him to help determine his or her own destiny or health, there certainly are ways through group support, through psychotherapy if necessary, through people who themselves have been through an illness process who can in turn be helpful to you, just as Louis is being helpful to other people with AIDS, whereby you might make a breakthrough in better being able to have some sense of empowerment, which is different from having a sense of guilt because, oh, I can't do it. Right. Don't feel that way. It's having some sense that the way one's attitude may help heal is quite different from blaming yourself because you're sick.
So we should never blame ourselves. So the people who say to me that I caused my illness, that my life is not in order, and I've called my illness,
that means you can get rid of your illness.
But do I tell these people to go to hell if they tell me that?
No, it's important to take responsibility of your life. So if you have decided that in somehow, some way you have created this sickness or illness or AIDS, which I did, in a sense because of the way I treated myself, physically, right, mentally, and spiritually, then I can undo that process and start to learn to love myself and create wellness, create what I consider myself, I am cured, I am well. Those are just affirmations that I personally do.
The answer is not that simple. If you at a certain point, do not have a feeling for your body, a feel for your body is the right word, then one of the ways that you could have a feel for your body, of course, is to have good body work and good instruction in moving your body. But when you don't have a feel for yourself,
Right.
then you don't know what you do to yourself. Then you really are not responsible for what happens. You should say more responsive to the illness rather than responsible for the illness. And that is that you got another opportunity to respond to yourself. And I worked with with people with mental problems in a body work way. I also sent them to psychotherapy because a lot was revealed. But it's amazing how much we store in our body. So it's so important to do body work and to release the tension in our body. Also, it's important to do eye exercises, because if we wear glasses and we don't pay attention to the tension that we carried all of our life in the eyes, and we just buy the theory that the eye are structured and destined to be in a particular way, then we eventually lead to degeneration of the eye. We can relax our eyes, and through that we can actually create a relaxation in the whole body.
Yes.
There is one basic assumption that you're doing or you're making, and this is that we should fight illness. The medical profession gave us that model. We all want to fight these illnesses.
Yeah.
The illness is a part of you. The beginning of true healing is self-acceptance.
Yeah, but
only way-
with all due respect, we read all the time, we're told all the time, cancer patients are told all the time, fight it!
Right.
Fight it, fight it, fight it.
That's,
You know?
Yeah,
And
I
he
know.
fought to the end. He fought to the end. She fought to the
Right.
end. Isn't she brave? What does that say to you?
it says to me that that's the concept that most people have about illness. And when I work with people who invest quietly without fighting 6-7 hours a day improving themselves, they're doing it out of self-love, out of love to the world. They're doing it in a softer attitude, and they're working for their body. They're not fighting against anything.
Madam, I must give you the last question.
It's not a question, I think. It's not a question, it's a comment. I think that the important thing that seems to be coming out is that the objective is different. Everybody's talking about being well and feeling well, not about curing their disease in particular. And I think that's where people get confused. If we start seeing the objective as curing the disease, that's when we start feeling blame, guilt, all sorts of
But
awful
repeat
things.
what you've just said at the beginning. The emphasis seems to be on,
Healing and loving oneself, on the attitudinal healing.
and that will help curing the disease?
I'm
It will
not
help
saying
improve
that.
the quality
It
of
will
one's
what?
lifestyle.
It would what?
It will help improve the quality of one's lifestyle, and that's what we're going after.
Who says that
the objective.
healing is
Right.
curing a symptom? You cure one symptom, you get another. If the process that is the illness itself is the process of decay, stagnation, we need always newness. We need to renew our body, to renew our mind, to renew our life. So a constant move forward in our life, even when we are attacked by severe problems, is a true strengthening process in healing. I could have been now blind, I could
Yes.
read Braille, and I'm not blind and I'm not reading Braille because I strengthened myself.
Okay, I thank you, and I think that that's the message that you want to give to us, and I think that most people in here are in agreement with that, right? That we heal ourselves, right, by an attitude of newness. Is this what you're telling us?
The point is, the healing is changing the process and not fighting symptoms. And it's important to fight some symptoms, it's important to fix some symptoms, but the most important thing is to accept the strength of the body and the wonderful fact that we live, and to extend our life into more and more awareness and to more and more expansion of our body. You can't think, I'll get better. You got to do something about getting better.
All right. I want to thank Dr. George Solomon, Mr. Louis Nassani, and Dr. Meyer Schneider for being with us. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm Laurier Lapierre. This has been Beyond the Line, and until we meet again, be well, be well.